Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game from the one, the only, EGIdrA, and he is going to be playing a Protoss player called iPSethN. I'm not sure if ZvP? Yeah, ZvP's what I'm going to go with. ZvN. Yeah, that'll do. I'm guessing IP is a tag. Who knows? iPSethN? No, it doesn't work. So ZvP's what I'm going to go with. Anyway, ZvP, he is the blue Protoss player down in the bottom right. EGIdrA is of course the red Zerg player in the bottom left. The map is Entombed Valley. It's a 4-player map and you can spawn anywhere, so that's always fun. That's why EGIdra's just scouting up into the north position. Obviously this base probably not going to get too much play in this map. Due to the spawning positions. These two though, obviously we're probably going to see a vertical split. That is why I'd almost guarantee, if the game does go on that long, of course. Forge, well, a fast expand coming out here from ZvP. It'll probably be a Forge fast expand. This is quite a difficult map to pull off a fast expand on, purely because where do you defend? Obviously, you can't really wall off here. That's a big area. So you're either kind of done walling off this way, but then your main base is exposed, or you just got to wall off this way and then your naturals. It's just awkward, so it'll be interesting to see if ZvP does manage to get that out. We will see EGIdrA going for quite an early spawning pool straight away, and to be honest that's what you've got to do in ZvP, because obviously the risk of a pylon block, of cannons, anything like that just means that if you were to try and go a hatch first build, just so much can go wrong, it's not worth it. Economically, you don't lose too much by getting that spawning pool earlier, but you gain a lot of map control, you gain the safety. I mean, the early queen makes up for the lack of the super early hatch. And that's something to always keep in mind. This map can be quite difficult for EGIdrA purely because, well, there's a pylon block going down there, but these rocks here, while you can take your third quickly, it's hard to defend it. Not so much actually due to where they've spawned, purely because EGIdrA can defend this location, and that defends both his natural and his third base. He's going to take his third base first, purely because that pylon block is irritating as hell. We will see, that was a Nexus before Forge build out of ZvP there. So ZvP, he's obviously scouted this spawning pool. He's going to take it later, and that is exactly what he should be doing. It's reactive gameplay. People in, I mean, this is what separates people sort of in sub-gold and probably even sub-mid-platinum and above, is whether you're playing from a fixed build order or whether you're playing reactively. And what ZvP did is he played reactively. He saw what EGIdrA was doing, the spawning pool. There's the queen getting the inject off earlier. He saw that spawning pool, its timings, and he reacted accordingly. If he'd seen, say, the spawning pool already finishing up, he would have gone for the Forge first and got a cannon and walled off, because that would have kept him alive. And ultimately, that is how people should be playing, of all races. Zerg isn't the only reactive race. Anyway, we will see EGIdra's getting great map control, and this is essential. He's got the watchtower, he's sending this other Zergling up just to go and scout around everywhere, check for pylons. This queen slowly walking its way down to the third base, and these two Zerglings just out of range, but keeping an eye on what is going on. This is a nice little wall-off position. I like this from ZvP. Again, it's slightly vulnerable, but the cannon there makes it safe. The cybernetic score is coming down, one gas is done. EGIdrA, no gas yet, and that's very common. He's got his third base on the way. That came down at about 4 minutes 30. Well, would have been actually before then, about 4 minutes 20. So, good timing there from EGIdrA on his third base, and that's why you delay the gas, just so you can get that third base up super early. Now, this is a second gateway coming out, so probably going to see some early pressure from ZvP. Kind of boosting out that +1. +1 is essential because it means Zealots 2-shot Zerglings as opposed to 1-shot them, as opposed to 3-shot them, sorry. So obviously, by 2-shotting Zerglings, it just makes Zealots go through them like hot butter, and I through hot butter, which is ideal. EGIdrA now just taking both gases there, probably will see the third and fourth gas soon. Meanwhile, ZvP, he's taking his second gas, kind of boosting out that warp gate tech. What's going on in his main base? We're just dropping down a pylon now. EGIdra's got this overlook perfectly positioned. It's keeping information about the third base if that was going to go down super early. Also in a great spot to suicide in if need be. What have we got going on? Well, see these mass chrono boosts out on the cybernetics core. insinuating more there's probably going to be some early pressure. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't. It just got some Zerglings running. I'm going to take out these rocks now, and these rocks take a horrendous amount of time for Zerg players to kill off, especially with Zerglings. I mean, it is literally an eternity. It's a horrible position to be in. Now, Zergling speed just started now for EGIdrA. Might seem quite late, but you don't need it any earlier against Protoss, who's doing a fast expand build, and a robotics facility actually coming out now. So that may be for either a War Prism play or for an Immortal. Generally, if he gets good scouting information from an Observer, which I'd imagine you get out first, he will obviously see that there's no need for an Immortal, because the Roach... Well, having said that, no Roach on down at all. So Immortal will be used as double upgrade. So EGIdrA clearly going for a strong Zergling play. And talking of strong plays, 4 Zealots are coming out, timed with the +1 weapon upgrades. So those Zerglings are going to have a tough time. The +1 ground carapace for EGIdrA and +1 melee attack only to side, but there is a spine there, and that spine along with the Queen is going to make short work of the Zealots. But the Zealots are just going to go all the way around. Now if you get health bars up, this is the sort of engagement where you want to see it. Those Zergling are picking off the reinforcements for ZvP. ZvP just focusing down the hatchery, and to be honest, he could be doing a lot more damage to, well, the worker line if he wanted to, but those Zerglings, just with superior numbers, look like they're going to be able to clean it up, but not without huge damage being done first. Now, that Queen wisely just pulling back, and EGIdra's having to invest a lot of War Prism on the way out as well for ZvP, so he can reinforce very, very easily. The Baneling Nest coming out there for EGIdrA, and we'll see, well, Blink is on its way, 2 more gateways, that'll bring it up to 4 gates, and that Robo. We've got the +2 Carapace coming out, and that's pretty much everything. EGIdrA, he's getting his lair up, he's getting up that Baneling Nest. Now, Banelings are slightly more unusual. You expect to see a Roach one, and has that Overlord scouted the War Prism, because that will be key to know. I don't know if he did. If he didn't, that's going to be a bit of a bummer, but I mean, seeing if there's any signs. He has thrown down, yep, he definitely saw it, because he's throwing down 2 spines there. He's throwing down a Spore Caller as well, just trying to pick off this War Prism. Obviously, War Prisms are pretty hardy, not gonna lie, but there are a lot of Zerglings there. The Queen will force it to keep moving along. The Queen from the main being pulled down wants to be careful, doesn't want to go off creep, because obviously those Zealots could do a lot of damage, could pin it down, and here comes the Zerglings, but obviously those Zerglings are still at lower upgrades. 1-1 are about to finish up for them, but those Zealots are getting cleaned up very, very quickly. And although the Zerglings all went down, the spines are up, so that will give time. But also, ZvP, he's got scouting information from this. He's using this War Prism as a forward war pinpoint, and that is very, very effective. 1-1 is just finishing now for EGIdrA. He's getting our macro hatch, and we will see the 1 Overlord picked off, and that actually supply blocks EGIdrA, so that is incredibly irritating for him there. He's getting that Baneling speed up, the Ventricle Sacs upgrade as well, so we could see some Overlord drops, which would be awesome. And what's going on with ZvP? Well, he's getting 3 more gateways onto this, getting another gas, so that'll take him to 4, 5, 6, 7 gates. So this is going to be a big, big push when those gateways finish up. But here comes a morphing of Banelings, another spine coming down at this third for EGIdrA. And where's ZvP going to push in? I wouldn't suggest pushing in on this third, I'd put it over there. But you're going to see ZvP go for it. Those Zerglings obviously are 1-1 against those 2-0 Stalkers. The Zerglings are going to mow through the Stalkers there. The Banelings as well are going to help. Baneling speed about half done. The Overlord speed is finished. And just look at this map control here for EGIdrA. He knows exactly what's going on everywhere. Is losing a couple of Overlords though. Wants to be careful of that. And we will see that ZvP, just I thought, going to avoid those spines and third just walk right in. But there goes the Baneling. Big Baneling hits going off. But a great blink back going on there. And ZvP with some good control. Wants to be careful though. There was just so many Zerglings coming in. Essentially that's around. He's going to pick up a lot of units. He's trying to warp in at the front. Meanwhile, all these Zerglings are at the back. So, I mean, they're going to clean up that force pretty damn easily. The Zerglings just mow through Stalkers. Meanwhile, though, there was this forward warp in, and ZvP should be able to pick off a Queen if he times this right. So he does get one off, but those Stalkers are going to die a horrible, horrible death. There's no way they'll get away. And really, ZvP didn't come up too well. I mean, EGIdra's nearly at double the supply already. Not after that warp in, though. There is another War Prism just come out as well. Or was it cancelled, actually? Did that War Prism come out? I saw one in production. No, obviously cancelled at the last minute, which is quite surprising. Now, I mean, EGIdra's in a money spot right now. If we take a look at the work count, he's at just under 70 drones, which is exactly where he wants to be. He's getting another gas up, so that will bring him to 6 gas. And, wow, holy Banelings. That is a lot of Banelings. Ultimately, if you've got a lot of money as a Zerg player, just build Banelings and get them all loaded up for a baneling drop. A lot of Zerglings here taking out these rocks, so a 4th base EGIdrA is clearly planning on going up. Bane Rain is great, especially against Stalkables. It just works so well, and it's also awesome to watch. Meanwhile, just a photon cannon in the back here to try and deal with the drop if it does come in. But we will just see that this observer is seeing absolutely everything, and that is essential from EGIdRA's point of view. He's getting up his infestation pit, he's getting those 2-2 upgrades. Those 2-2 upgrades were actually a bit delayed. Could have got those out earlier, but shouldn't matter at all. Now, these Zerglings are going to run in and not see a 3rd base, and from EGIdRA's point of view, not seeing a 3rd base is good. He knows he's crushed a push which came out earlier from ZvP, and essentially he knows if there's not a base there, he is just golden. But there is a base up here, so it'll be interesting to see if EGIdRA does spot that. Now, in comes 1 Overlord here. There's also 2 more coming down in the south position just to go and pick off some stuff. What is he going to be able to do? Any damage at all would be great, but that photon cannon's there. I mean, it looks like EGIdRA's going to decide against it, but is moving up, scouting it, so will spot this hidden 3rd base. The 4th base for EGIdRA on its way down. And essentially, he's just getting his hive up, he's got pathogen glands on the way, he's got his 4th base, he's got Spire up. Meanwhile, we will see that ZvP, well, he's running those pros away from the Bane Rain, and they won't get down. EGIdRA probably wasn't paying full attention. That great blink forward just picked off any threat there, which was ideal. Meanwhile, though, I mean, this has all been scouted by... Has it been scouted by EGIdRA? If it hasn't, that could be game... He hasn't gone and checked up there. Oh, that could be literally... Well... Maybe not game-changing, but it's very influential. ZvP, he's getting some High Templar out, he's getting Storm on the way, just to deal with any kind of mass Zergling balls, and that's really good, because it's just clearly showing that he's going for a Zergling Infestor type play, and High Templar, well, Storm counters Zergling incredibly well, and also High Templars with feedback do a great, easy job of dealing with Infestors, so this is a good move by ZvP. I definitely prefer it to Colossi. Meanwhile, though, we will see that EGIdRA still has literally no clue there's a base up here. There's 3 more gateways coming in, so will that even bring the gateway number 2? 7, 8, 9, 10 gates. So that's a lot of units, and ZvP looking now like it's going to go and take that 4th base for him, but of course from EGIdRA's point of view that's his 3rd, so EGIdRA's thinking he's in the money. He's getting his greater Spire up though, so obviously Broodlords are... Where is that Spire? There we go. So Greater Spire on the way. Obviously Broodlords are going to be super strong. The Stalker numbers aren't really that high. There's nothing really that's going to be able to deal with them too effectively. Here comes the Corruptors out just in time for that. Not the Road to Speed. Yeah, it is Road to Speed. What am I on about? Road to Speed upgrade. Where is even the Road to Warren? Everything is hidden. Road to Speed on the way out there for EGIdRA, and he's just building this spine wall. And this is exactly what I say it a lot of Zerg players forget, is Infestor Broodlord is a very strong force, but it's an extremely slow force, so you need the spine wall, because the spine wall makes you safe. It prevents the Protoss player from coming in and doing too much damage too quickly before you can get your army back. Greater Spire has just finished up there for EGIdRA, and essentially EGIdRA has no clue about this base at all, so he's essentially only 1 base up, and that is going to really influence the outcome. But if you look at the supply count, it's still about 40 in favour of EGIdRA there. He's got an Archon in the mix, he's just going to see that spine wall. Now, if he just marches the other way, he's going to be fine. So ZvP, he needs to just avoid this big wall of spiky death, because spiky death is one of the worst types of death, so I'm told. And we're going to have 4 more gateways added in here by ZvP, so ZvP is now going to be up to, I believe, 14 gates, if I remember my count right, but I could be wrong on that, plus 1 air attack on the way out, therefore EGIdRA. 3-3 hasn't even started yet. Has Adrenal Glands gone? No. EGIdRA Adrenal Glands is an amazing upgrade if you've got a lot of Zerglings, and 3-3 is obviously an amazing upgrade for the Zerglings and also the Broodlings, so EGIdRA, go upgrade. Meanwhile, we will see that the +1 Protoss ground army is on its way, only +2 attacks, so upgrades are pretty much in favour of EGIdRA here, and we're going to see a bit of an engagement. How much is this going to be able to do though? Big storms go down, money storms on everything, and that picked up a lot, but I think EGIdRA just has too much stuff here. The Broodlord's completely safe, and there is all the Stalkers cleaned up, and there's the GG. So that was a pretty quick ending to the game. One kind of misstep by Seth, and there EGIdRA just had too much stuff, had better tech. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that game. EGIdRA didn't even rage. He won, but I mean, usually he rages even if he wins, so that's quite surprising. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe, and obviously Twitter as well. And that's at SC2_England. So yeah, tune in again if you did enjoy, and yeah, bye for now.